What's going on, guys? My name is Oreo Token, and today we're going to talk about the reintroduced Seventh Seraph Weapons, and we're going to see if they're good, what we can do with them, do we need to go for them, farm for them, what are the roles we want to look for, just basically a generic guide on these reintroduced Seventh Seraph Weapons to help with our Warmind Cell builds. So we're going to go into the weapon roles, and we're also going to talk about if they're good or not. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, quick review of our weapons and armor. We're going to go over with the Verity's Brow on the Warlock with high impact fire. Next, we're going to go with a Power of Rasputin mod on our gauntlets. Then we are going to go over with Lucent Blade. That is another weapon mod. And then we're going to take and charge so we can get charged by picking up orbs. And then we're going to have Global Reach. Those are the basic mods that we're going to have going in for our build. So there's a video refreshing all this. I'll post that as a card, and you guys can take a look at that video on that Warmind Cell build, and we'll go ahead and get started. Starting off with the auto rifle. The auto rifle is a 450 rounds per minute kinetic auto rifle, and it is going to be in your primary slot because it's kinetic. So let's talk about the different options we have with this auto rifle. The barrels we have are chamber compensator, extended barrel, arrowhead brake, and fluted barrel. I would recommend for console we go with the arrowhead brake just because of recoil control, and then PC I would either go with extended or a chamber compensator. Would be my recommendations there. Then let's look at the magazines. There's high cal, appended mag, and armor piercing that I would select there as well. I would use either appended or high cal for PC and console. That they're both fairly good options as well going forward. You can see in the background gameplay I'll be using the auto and the SMG as well. After that, let's look at the different perks we can use here. So depending on your build, it's going to depend how you want to use your perks. The first one's going to be 4th times the charm and auto-loading holster. Those are the first two in the first slot that I would choose. And the second two would be either Vorpal, Swash, or Rampage. Basically a damage boost for any of your weapons there with your auto rifle. Alright, let's talk about the Officer Revolver hand cannon. It is a 180 hand cannon that goes in your primary slot as a kinetic hand cannon. And it is a hand cannon that I would recommend if you're trying to go into content and have a lot of ammo for, because it's going to have a lot of shots. But you can extend the amount of shots we have here as well going forward. So let's talk about the different roles in PvE that we can do for Warmind Cells. The first one, we'll talk about barrels. The first one is going to be corkscrewed barrel, fluted barrel, and small bore. Those are the three that I would recommend for the barrel options. Then we'll switch over to the magazine. We'll either go with appended mag, a tactical mag, or extended mag. I personally like extended mag just to give myself more ammo in the magazine going forward. After that, we'll talk about threat detector as our first perk that we would use. All around good perk for the weapon. And then for PvE, ambitious assassin, which gives you more ammo off of multi-kills. And then 4th times a charm is a next one I would do if you're getting your headshots. After that, the last perk column, feeding frenzy, high impact reserves, and multi-kill clip. You can see some synergies here. If you have ambitious assassin with multi-kill clip, you get more ammo in your magazine, and you get multi-kill clip as you kill things. So it is a good little combination there to mix and match all these different things going forward. But obviously, you can't go wrong with any of those options I listed before, so I would recommend picking up this weapon if you like 180s in PvE, and it's not bad in PvP as well. So I would definitely take a look at that 180 option. The next one we're going to talk about is the SMG, the Seventh Seraph SMG. So let's look at the barrels. We have fluted barrel, small bore, or arrowhead brake would be my recommendation there. Like I said, on console, anything that provides a better recoil direction, I would highly recommend, or stability. So arrowhead brake would be my recommendation for console. PC. It's up to you, I think, at that point. After that, the magazine, I would look at appended mag, tactical mag, or extended mag. Once again, I like extended mag just because more ammo in the magazine helps, but at the same time, you might like tactical or appended mag, so definitely would use those as my different options for PvE. Okay, moving forward, let's look at the perks. The first perk column we have, recommendations would be Firmly Planted, Ambitious Assassin, or 4 times a charm. Looking at those three, firmly planted, you can reload while crouched. Ambitious Assassin does the same thing, where you can get more ammo in your magazine off of multi-kills. That's always very nice. And then fourth time's a charm is off of consecutive headshots. You get some ammo back. So all about getting more ammo in your gun, and I like that. The next column is going to be Feeding Frenzy, which is reloading faster off of kills. Next is Vorpal Weapon, which is a damage buff, and then Dragonfly. Dragonfly is kind of fun because you can just start doing splash damage all over the place. Or you can run a Chromatic Fire as a Warlock and do the same thing without having it, so that's a plus as well. Looking at the SMG, if I'm going to run a mod with it, I would do Backup Plan, just because I like how that gives you extra ammo as well in your magazine when you're using this SMG, which, you know, after a while, you'll chew through ammo pretty quickly. So I would recommend doing that for your build. Alright, the next weapon we're going to look at is the Sidearm. This is a 360 rounds per minute sidearm, which is an energy weapon, and it is in the Void slot. Or a Void weapon, Void slot, that's a good joke. A Void weapon. So it's going to be a weapon that you can use against some of these Void champions or shielded enemies as a sidearm. So looking at the barrel options, we have Fluted Barrel, Arrowhead Break, and Corkscrew Rifling. And then looking at our mag options, we have Tap Mag, Appended Mag, or Extended Mag. Once again, sidearms, I like having more ammo, so there's different options we can do there, but I prefer Extended Mag. Appended Mag's good too, so it's just another option for you guys to look at as well. Now let's look at the perk combinations. The first one that I would like is Full Auto. Nothing quite like spamming single shot sidearms all the time, so Full Auto saves your trigger finger or your mouse. So definitely, that's a good way to look at it. Demolitionist is a great perk in PvE. Whenever you throw a grenade, it reloads your weapon. And every time you get a kill with that weapon, it gives you more energy for your grenade cooldown, reducing your grenade cooldown. I highly recommend Demolitionist if you don't use it. It's a great perk overall on weapons in general. After that, we have Threat Detector. Would be my third option there. Kinda for PvP. PvE, it helps a little bit, but Demolitionist is my number one for that as going forward. After that, let's talk about the second perk column. We have Vorpal Weapon, which is nice as a damage buff. Then we have Dragonfly, which we talked about earlier. You put Dragonfly spec on that and make your Dragonfly basically Firefly like D1, do more damage in a larger range. And then after that, you have Surrounded, which you can also put Surrounded spec on, so if you're surrounded by multiple people, you do more damage. I would recommend here, I like Dragonfly. Think about the whole idea was the Warmind Cells, you're exploding things. I like the idea of explosions and kind of going along with that right there. So explode everything, put Dragonfly spec on there, or backup mag. If you want to use Vorpal or Vorpal, I would do that. Use Surrounded spec if you have Surrounded on your weapon as well. So those are the three options that I would choose for my Seventh Seraph Sidearm. Next, let's talk about the shotgun. The Seventh Seraph CQC-12 shotgun. I love this shotgun, I won't lie. I like it in PvE and in PvP. It's a good shotgun, so let's talk about what it is and how it works. So it's an 80 round per minute shotgun. It is a solar energy shotgun, which is great for wizards. Really good for wizards. So let's talk about the different options we have in there. Barrels. We have small bore, extended barrel, and corkscrew. I like extended barrel. It gives you a little more range on your barrel. Next, let's talk about the magazine perks. Assault mag, tac mag, and appended mag. I like assault mag on my shotguns, but that's up to you guys on your magazine. After that, let's take a look at the perks. The first column, we have slide shot, which extends your range and gives you ammo in your shotgun, which is good. Lead from gold, so picking up special or heavy gives you basically more ammo. So picking up heavy will give you ammo in your special, so it gives you more opportunity to get special ammo. And then auto-loading. Nothing better than just stowing your weapon, running away, and it loads up for you. I would highly recommend that. And then looking at our second column, Vorpal and Trench Barrel are my top two that I would look into for the second perk. Vorpal will give you more damage, and Trench Barrel does have increased damage as well, so I'd recommend that as well. Last but not least is the machine gun, the heavy machine gun. It is a 360 heavy machine gun that is arc. And 360s are a little slow shooting, but they can do a lot of damage. So let's talk about this saw shotgun. So first, let's talk about the barrel options. We have arrowhead break, fluted barrel, and polygonal rifling. I like arrowhead break just because of the recoil direction. That's especially on console is what I would do there. After that, let's talk about the magazine. We have appended, armor piercing, and flared magwell. I like armor piercing rounds, but that's just a personal preference right there. I like what it can do. And it kind of staggers enemies too. Obviously, when you have iron on your strike, that doesn't really make any, doesn't have an effect, but it's really good for that as well. Now let's talk about the perk combinations. Saw has some really interesting perk combinations, so let's take a look. Clown Cartridge. What Clown Cartridge does is basically can give you additional bullets in your magazine when you reload. Auto-loading holster, which reloads it for you when it's stowed away, which is very nice for a heavy weapon because you don't always have your heavy weapon out. So always having your full magazine is really nice on your weapon. And then field prep, which is if you need to reload, you can crouch and reload quicker. And then let's talk about the second column of perks. We have Vorpal Weapon, so doing more damage is always great. Firing line, if you have other teammates standing right next to you, it increases your damage while shooting. So if you have, at the end you're killing a boss and you're all standing next to each other trying to kill the boss, you have increased damage with firing line. And then elemental capacitor, if you look through the elements for solar, arc, and void subclasses, it can pair well with what you're running. So, different reload speed, stability, those are different things that could help with your saw. So those are the top 3 that I would recommend for the perks. I like the build of having Clown and Firing Line, or Clown and Vorpal, or auto-loading in Vorpal is a good one too. So take a look at what you have there. I think those are really good options for the weapons going forward. Alright, so let's talk about if these weapons are even good. I mean, almost could lead up with that, right? So, primaries. Let's talk about primaries. Heat Cannon Auto Rifle. They're okay. I wouldn't say these are the best weapons in PvE or PvP, hands down. But they're okay. If you need something to create Warmind Cells, you can use that. But there's better options, honestly, I would recommend. There's different builds of Warmind Cells you can use with splash damage for solar, Ace of Spades, different things like that. So, I would recommend in PvE content, the Wither Horde as my recommendation here, instead of these hand cannon and auto rifle. After that, let's talk about the energy weapons. Very interesting opportunities here in the energy weapon slots. We have the shotgun, the SMG, and the sidearm. The sidearm, unless you really need void damage, I wouldn't use it, honestly. But the SMG and the shotgun is very interesting because the SMG, it's not a special weapon. It uses primary ammo, so you can use the Wither Horde and have primary ammo with your SMG, and it's a really good ad clear weapon. So I would recommend the SMG in most content. And then after that, I would look at the shotgun. The shotgun's strong with Vorpal and Trench Barrel. Those are 2 very good perks I would recommend in PvE. And you can pair that with a different ad clearing weapon. Like let's say something in the primary that's a really good ad clear weapon going forward. That it could be a special or a primary. So I would recommend those 2. And then last but not least, let's talk about the Saw Heavy Machine Gun. It's okay. It has some really good perk combinations. It doesn't make it top tier, but with Clown and Firing Line, those are really good options with boss DPS. But we have swords right now, and swords are the strongest heavy weapon for boss clearing. So I would recommend the Falling Guillotine, which they are reintroducing as well, and the Lament, the new exotic sword. It just kind of wrecks all swords. So I'm happy that an exotic is stronger than a legendary. But going back to the Saw, it's almost, unless you're using it for ad clear to create Warmind Cells, I wouldn't use it. I would just use the sword. So that is my recommendation for these different weapons. Once again, my name is Oreo Token. If you like what you heard, please hit that like button. I make content on different builds, Warmind Cells, Destiny 2, random stuff, state of the game, whatever, D2. So if you like what you heard, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Have an amazing day. I'll see you in D2. Bye-bye.